Hello chess lovers, Soren here, and in today's video I want to share with you another very exciting game. On the white side is Polish chess player Jacek Stopa and his opponent is Croatian chess player Davorin Kuljasevic. At the time of this game both players were international masters, then they also earned grandmaster titles. This game dates back to year 2007 and was played in Richardson, which is a city located in north-central Texas. Stopa opened up with d4, to which Kuljasevic answered with knight f6, c4, c5, d5. We have Benoni defense, and after knight c3 takes, Black is choosing the so-called snake variation, not a popular line. Usually Black is playing d6, that's the main move, but in our game we have bishop d6. The bishop on the long diagonal is of course acting more venomously, and the bishop, as you know, in Benoni helps to make use of the queenside pawn majority. But we have bishop d6 move by Black, e4, Black castled, f4, White is instantly trying to occupy the advantage in the center, but the main move in here is bishop d6. Let's see what's the problem with f4. f4 was met with knight takes e4. Since White king is still in the center, Black wants to emphasize that fact, is going for a knight sacrifice in hope of winning back the sacrificed piece. Rook e8 pinning the knight, queen e2, bishop f8. Well, in case of f5, okay, let's first finish the game and then we will come back to this position. Okay, bishop goes back to f8, g4, preventing f5, knight a6. Black tries to complete the queenside development, and the queenside knight is jumping into the game, trying to create some counterplay. Knight f3, although playing knight h3 then bringing the knight on f2 could give White's position more solidity. b5, b6 is preferable in order then to play bishop a6, and the problem with b5 is that it's blocking the f1 a6 diagonal. Here comes c4. Black is not hurrying to win the pawn on d5, bishop b7, g5, rook c8, king f1, and finally the pawn on d5 drops. Knight e5. Meanwhile, White is intensifying the pressure, and already this queen is ready to jump into the attack. d6, attacking the knight, and there lands rook takes d5. White is playing very aggressively. Yeah, we can see that Black failed to win back the sacrificed piece, and already it's time for White to make sacrifices. The exchange sacrifice was accepted, after which there landed knight takes f7. This is crazy, guys, this is crazy. Black didn't dare to accept the knight sacrifice and did a right decision, played queen c7 and g6. What is happening, guys? What is happening? H takes g6, knight e g5. Knight f g5 could allow White to maintain advantage, but we have knight e g5. And so with this move, actually, White is sacrificing his queen as well, right? The queen sacrifice was accepted, after which, since with his last move White opened the bishop's diagonal, there landed bishop takes d5. And now Black is in a very tough situation. If, for example, let's just make a random move, rook h2, then knight e5 check, followed by a checkmate. This is the threat. So Black played rook f2 check. Black finds an interesting defense. The idea is that if king takes f2, then queen c5 check, and this bishop drops. That's why, to rook f2 check, White answered king e1. And now comes rook e8 check. Again, you can't touch this rook, because the queen will join the attack, and that can be suicidal for White. That's why White played bishop e3. This time White is sacrificing his bishop, and the idea is that after rook takes e3, only now when White is accepting the rook sacrifice, there is no longer a check from c5. This rook blocks the diagonal queen c5, and at this point already all White could do was to give a perpetual check, and we have a draw, a fighting draw, one of the best draws. You know, guys, sometimes a good draw is better than a boring victory, you know. Okay, my stockfish is on now, and we can go back to move in here. f4 and knight e4. The first line takes rook e8, queen e2, bishop f8. Yeah, in here if you play f5, then knight d6 is coming, and the engine gives white almost +2 advantage. This can rise. That's why black moved away his bishop. Although at this point knight a6 is the move. In case of knight a6, let me tell you that already when you are going for a queen sacrifice, black has knight b4, and black is managing to switch his knight into the game. Black is tempo ahead, and that's something which allows black to fight back. Then black can activate his queen, and this bishop is no longer hanging. Okay, in the game we have bishop f8, g4, knight a6, bishop g2, knight b4, and as mentioned, knight h3, knight f2 is the move, but we have knight f3. Yeah, knight h3, knight f2 could really allow white to maintain advantage. Now, instead of b6, we have b5, king f2, c4. There was no need for c4 maybe. Bishop b7 straight away. Okay, c4, rook d1, bishop b7, g5, rook c8, king f1. White is trying to consolidate his position in future, preventing any unpleasant checks from, I don't know, b6 or knight d3. The pawn on d5 drops, knight e5, d6, and now we have rook takes d5, which is a very accurate move, and then knight f7, and we have queen c7, a very accurate defense by black. Yeah, if king takes f7, let me show what can happen. Queen h5 check, king g8, g6. If h takes g6, then this knight drops. White is materially better and has a very dangerous attack. In our game, after knight takes f7, we have queen c7 and g6. Still white maintains advantage, right? And now instead of knight fg5, which is the main move, we have knight g5, and so after this move actually we have an equality. Of course, white is playing a beautiful chess, is sacrificing his queen, but white has nothing to offer. Rook f2 check. Yeah, at this point if queen c5, then white can give an immediate perpetual check, right? Rook f2. In return, black is also trying his luck. Both players are demonstrating fighting chess, and in here bishop e3 is the only move which allows white to survive. Takes king f2, and we have a perpetual check. Very, very impressive game, which I'm sure you enjoyed. Feel free to share it with your friends as well. In the end, a chess problem is white to move and mate in 2. We'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in my next video. Take care.